So last thing before we wrap up the game, this game, if you buy the deluxe edition, it comes with a digital art book, as well as the comics, which we've been reading as we've been going. We haven't looked at the digital art book yet, so I want to look over the digital art book because, I mean, the art in this game is fantastic, and I want to see what else they have as well. So again, you only get this with the deluxe edition. Reki, welcome in. Thanks for stopping by the stream. Oh, maybe we should have been looking at these as we went. Oh, but there's only art for chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4? Or is this just the art has been divided into 3 chapters? I guess we'll see. Ooh, there's a lot of pages of this. Yeah, I'll keep my model up for now. So if you guys want to see some of this yourselves, you should support the game and get it yourself, because I really want to support these guys. So this looks like the cover. There must be like a full color version of this later. Oh, cool. There's or no, does every page have like text? Probably not. I love reading text to go along with all the art and the concept. It'd be super cool for us to say that the art of dispatch was some sort of singular vision we were all faithfully marching toward. Everyone on this project knows that's bullshit. The truth is, Dispatch's aesthetics was discovered by a team who woke up every day and relentlessly solved problems. There were days where we'd struggle to make a location feel more specific, or give a character the right vibe. There were days when we fight through the boredom of designing napkins. There were days when we questioned our life choices after debating the amount of pubic hair a monster should have. Yeah, that's right, we also played it censored, so we have no idea what those ding-dongs look like. At times, it could feel like sailing through murk, but it's really where the magic happened and how we discovered our North Stars team. Oh no, is there going to be a page of ding-dongs? I'll need to censor that for YouTube. This book is a diary of the discovery we found together. Derek Stratton, art director. I feel like they wouldn't put that in the art book, but I don't know. So this is the cover of the game that you see on like Steam and stuff like that too. Obviously Robert's in the middle. I thought that maybe this red dude was Royd. In like, maybe he like hulks out or something like that. He's definitely got the Royd build. But maybe this was like a prototype version of him or early version of him. Maybe these are just unnamed hero, because I don't know who this person is. This looks almost like a male blonde blazer here. So like, we didn't get to see who these people were. Who knows who this is? We talked a lot about Western anime style for Dispatch, combining grounded, realistic character performances with elements of anime visuals. This shot was a perfect opportunity to take 2 of our main characters who are getting to know each other during a drunken, naturalistic conversation in a bar and pluck them into the sky, revealing the skyline of downtown Los Angeles in a style reminiscent of Neo Tokyo from Akira. Dennis Leonard, Episode 1 co-director. Okay, I guess if every page is going to have this much dialogue, I don't need to give too much commentary. Robert Robertson III. Our player character, Robert, is an everyman. You know, just a guy. Some might even call him a loser after his fall from grace. Always feeling like he's one step behind, he's a bit of a disheveled schlub, washed up dad bod and all. He's broken, he's beaten, and he's just trying to do his best. He was a really good protagonist. Above, sketches by... oh, here. Jay Harm, Paige Irvine, and Deborah Renga. Left, tone, piece, and concept by Lap Pun Chung. Yeah, I wouldn't describe it as a dad bod exactly, but everyone seems to have a slightly different idea of what a dad bod is, so I'll let it slide. The chunk missing from Robert's ear feels iconic now, but we explored a lot of more prominent and gnarly scar placements early on. Ultimately felt these scars were a bit harsh and too blunt in conveying his troubled past. Considering the origins of his scar got scoped out of the game, we're glad we didn't go with something so in your face. Face and scar explorations and tone pieces by Lap Pun Chung. Mecha Man. Well, before the crash, Robert's family heirloom, the Mecha Man suit. Robert dreams of carrying on its legacy, but the mech suit is a scientific and mechanical marvel that goes beyond its capabilities to rebuild after it's destroyed. Maybe one day. So these are just pictures. Above, mech and mech suit concepts by Lap Pun Chung. Below, mech exploration by Tanyathon Shramaharsan, Fredia 18, and Tana M. These are fun silhouettes. Above, Robert in cockpit sketch by Liz Chi. Left and below, early cockpit sketches by Zhou Zhao and Tana M. Because like they have to like design everything, draw the concept art, and then someone has to like model it for the animations, and someone has to animate it. Okay, so not every page has text. Concept art by Derek Stratton. Beef, the one, the only, the rotund. There's not much to know about Beef. He's a straight shooter. Let's it all hang out. He's Robert's BFF and the BFF of anyone who gives him belly rubs. May we all live a life of beauty and simplicity like our best boy, Beef. Above, episode 1 storyboards by Lance D. Lee. Robert's apartment. Robert's humble apartment is designed to look how he's feeling, like shit. Robert has sacrificed a lot to maintain the life of Mecha Man, and his bare studio shows all of his attention is focused on supporting the mech. Part bachelor pad, part mech lab, it may be lacking in charm, warmth, and basic furnishings, but it's where Robert can focus on what matters most. Beef. Left, Derek Stratton. Right, Liz Chi. Thing is, like, this game had like toilet humor, but it wasn't like egregious. Like, I feel like it was tasteful and not overdone, which oftentimes when there's any toilet humor, it goes a little bit too overboard. Robert's apartment exterior by Santasak Apasutharat. Chase, or Trackstar. Chase is one of our studio's favorite characters to write and animate. He's blunt, expressive, cantankerous, and like us all has a weak spot for beef. A bit of a crank, but you would be too if your midlife crisis hit as hard as Chase's early onset osteoporosis. Looking at Beef, oh, look at him. Concept by Federico Kempke. We knew early on that Chase's powers had the unfortunate side effect of rapidly aging him, but we took care to explore how far that aging would have progressed. For example, how much did Trackstar use his power? Moving at light speed is the kind of juicy ability anyone would use and abuse happily, so we came to the conclusion that he'd be grayed, wrinkled, and wobbly. Episode 2 storyboards by Deborah Ranga. A yellow homage to Flash, grumpy but more personable. Goggles from Superhero Days. Top center, Chase Age Exploration by Lap Pun Chung. Left, Paige Irvine. Above, Liz Chi. Blonde Blazer. Blonde Blazer represents the golden age of supers. She's honorably courageous with a generous spirit and a strong dose of corporate-approved dorkiness. An old soul looking to keep the business of heroism feeling fresh and personal. Visually, we continually pushed her super persona further and further towards something that felt classic. Clean lines, bold colors, obvious strength, and a dash of mystery and flair. Yeah, they did a good job of capturing that. Emblem and gem, too noisy, slightly more classic suit. White marks help keep feet readable. Close to original design and color. Above, sketches by Jay Harm. Left, design exploration by Alexandria Neonakis and Lap Pun Chung. Yeah, I'm glad that she also wasn't like arrogant or mean. She was like paragon of being a superhero, but they also didn't overuse her. They didn't use her just to solve everyone's problems, which is great. Above, sketches by Lance D. Lee. Right, stills from early animation tests by Igloo Studio. Oh, I love this. She's like, hey, you want something from the vending machine? Bam. Oops. Ooh. Gal. When we began to build out Invisigal, the piece on the far left was the first concept drawn. We then went on a long journey of tweaking Vizzy's character, her clothes, her tattoos and piercings, her powers, her attitude, only to realize we still like the original idea best, classic game development. She really gives me like Tracer vibes because of her hair. Her outfit reminds me of someone else too, but I can't quite place it right now. Short sleeve hoodie, shows off tats, vest, combat pants, and hoodie variation. This one's kind of starting to look like Juri Han. Actually, that's kind of maybe what she's giving me. Or Yuri Han from Street Fighter. More ninja-like. Energy wire as a weapon. Too lethal? Scarf that magically floats around her. Tattoos glow, energy forms weapons. Power drawn from tattoos empowers fists. Concepts by Lap Pun Chung. I think the coolest thing about Invisigal is that her ability is just to turn invisible. All her martial arts abilities are her own. Like, she just turns invisible, but she can kick ass. Even against people that have superpowers. Like, she's not like Invisible Woman, where she can turn invisible, she can also, like, use force fields and, like, move things around. Invisigal just turns invisible. And she's at the mercy of her inhaler. Tone pieces by Lap Pun Chung at the left, above by J Harm, right by Zhou Zhao. Look at this one. I love, like, she takes him out and then she uses her inhaler. It's such a fun, like, juxtaposition. Gameplay splash image by Kuchupak and Tathanyan Srimahasarn. The setting, SDN office. The offices of SDN are inspired by the clean, mid-century lines of those nondescript office buildings your parents used to work in. We embraced flunky aesthetics, nostalgic 90s tech, and a more muted color palette with the intention to create something timeless, somehow both modern and retro. Early SDN building concept by Lap Pun Chung. Call center interior explorations by Derek Stratton. Blazer's office. Some older, possibly secondhand furniture, but a generally sophisticated and warm vibe. Soft and streamlined to balance the chaos of the action beyond her office door. Like, I love they put so much attention into these locations, even though we don't see them that often. Concepts by Tanapon Wachirakul and Santasak Apasutharat. Conference room. Functional and well-worn with mid-century touches, not a private changing room. Bathroom. Nauseating lighting. Could be cleaner, possibly a venue for brofist. Royd's urinal, not pictured. Office layout. These floor plans were our go-to references for the SDN office's structural logic. Some of the areas pictured are never even seen during the game. Seriously, what company occupies the space next door and is that weird sharing an elevator with a bunch of supers? Nevertheless, it was important to understand the big picture, so as we designed the action of the office scenes, we could maintain the flow of interiors and remain consistent within the confines of the established exterior. Another company we'll never see. That probably got destroyed in episode 8. Oh, more detailed. It's easy for an office environment to feel soulless, and we knew that because Blonde Blazer was in charge of SDN's Torrance branch, its aesthetics would reflect back on the kind of person she is. With that in mind, Blazer's office is the heart of the building, where she keeps the overhead lights off and lets warm natural light flood the room. This shot was used to dial in the vibe with our 3 managers running their post-mortem. Weirdly, this shot is for dialogue choice and not the main path, so only a third of players get to see this. We are still learning. Some of the dialogue choices in this game, because they're all timed, I wish a few of them I feel like they should have given me a little bit more time to do. Some of the ones that happened during action sequences, I understand had shorter timers, but some of them were just regular decisions in the office and they gave me like a really short timer for some of them. This is from Nick Herman, episode 2 co-director. Storyboards. Again, dude got beaten up by a glass of water. I mean, I guess this is a picture if I threw him with the alcohol. Oh, look at Beef. He's so round. Episode 1 Color Key by Natapa Shansamakra. Color Key 2 by Natapa Chansamakra. Okay, so that's chapter 1 of the art book. That's cool. So it's not like completely just chapter by chapter, because there were episode 2 things in here. I guess that's why they use chapter instead of episode. Chapter 2, The Art of Dispatch. Game development is often challenging. It's full of compromises and sacrifices at every step of the way. But every time I see this scene, it brings a smile to my face. I'll always remember it as one of those rare moments in the game where we're all perfect in sync and everything seemed to fall into place. From script to voice acting, from storyboards to animation, from art to lighting, and finally through sound and music production, every person that touched this scene helped make it feel better and better along the way. It's not the most dramatic scene in the game, or the funniest, or the flashiest, but the simple, quiet conversation on the swing set at night is the thing I'm most proud of. Dennis Leonard, Episode 3 director. See, I love hearing, like, not just, I love seeing concept art, but I also love hearing about the development process, and even more so if it feeds into things like gameplay, animation, like all that stuff. It all just comes together. I love it. Cloud, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. The Phoenix program. You've now had the chance to get to know the villains, or heroes, of the Z team. You've also had to make some tough calls to reshape the team. The fates of Sonar, Coop, Waterboy, and Phenomenon were in your hands. Let's take a closer look at how they got here. Early Z team lineup silhouettes by Derek Stratton. I love this too. Like, the fact that you have to, like, think about their silhouettes as well and how unique they all look. Sonar. What makes a man? And what makes a Batman? This picture is so funny looking. It looks like something out of Dr. Seuss. We spent a long time trying to figure out just that. While walking the fine line between fanged, aerial mammal, and crypto-obsessed tech bro, we landed on our bud Sonar. He started off as a simple joke, what would be a literal a Batman lookalike, but quickly became one of our favorite characters. A lot of time was spent trying to make sure his bat head didn't feel like a sports mascot costume, and even more time spent debating how much hair he has underneath his clothes. Above by J Harm, right by Liz Chi. Bro. He's like eating live mice. Sonar was so fun. A lot of people really liked him too. He deserves it. Poor Coop though, who had to compete with him. Directly right. Design outcome sketch by Thanyathon Srimahasan. Look at this one. This one's so funny. The thing is, like, when he was fighting in episode 8, he only fought in bat form, which makes sense. I can't really see how he would fight in his hybrid form. I feel like his hybrid form obviously excels in, like, intellect and charisma. But I like to think he can fight like that too. I mean, we did kind of see him. I guess at the bar, he didn't really fight. He was just snorting cocaine in the bathroom. This one looks so funny to me. This one looks kind of like Looney Tunesy? I don't think that's quite the right word. Coop. Etymology, to cut in French. Sadly ironic if he did snip her off the Team Z roster. One of the few aerial heroes and the Phoenix program's only masked hero. Coop is capable, elegant, and mysterious. The concept for her character came very early, but nailing down her final look took until almost the end of pre-production. Again, I talked about this at the beginning of the stream, but like the accent aigu on the E here means that it should be coupe. But if it's feminine, it should have another E back here. So right now there's like a masculine form. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because it's a verb, but if you put it in a sentence with someone using the verb, then you need to make sure the masculine, feminine agrees with it. She was cool, but she just had to compete with Sonar. Sketches by Thanyathan Srimahasan, Li Liao, and J Harm. Yeah, that's true. It must have been hard to make a crypto bro lovable. His goofiness. Ooh, these are kind of fun, though. Wing harness gives short bursts of elegant flight. Bladed feet. Connection point for blade combat. Not actual colors, only to show suit parts. Calf blade housing. Retractable foot blade. Yeah, look at it's got like a swan kind of look to it. Like the ballet kind of Swan Lake kind of thing. Multifaceted helmet looks like feathers. Torso has detail density, hex pattern detail. Waterboy! Oh, look at him. Sweet, timid, and hardworking, Waterboy awakens the dreamer in us all. What he lacks in skills, he makes up for in moisture, and sometimes that actually comes in handy. Whether you chose him to fight on the front lines or left him to mop the bathroom, Waterboy will give it 110%. Look at this version of him. Younger visual. He almost kind of looks like Blazer when she's not transformed. With the hairdo. Webbing. Way larger eyes, loose hair on face. Office style, Team Z style. Shirt under suit has collar out for office. Shirt wrist sections poking out. Opaque goggles version, collar zipped up under suit. No, I don't think Waterboy was a criminal at some point, because when he joined Team Z, like, he originally, like, joined for the janitor position. So it's not like he got recruited because he was, like, a former villain. This guy wouldn't be able to do anything. Oh, the Crocs. Far left, sketched by J Harm, above concepts by Lap Punchung. They should have went with this. They should have went with this. He's literally just SpongeBob. This is an Ace Attorney animation. There's literally a character in Ace Attorney that does something like this. With a picture of him on the can. Sketches by Kanako Iwata, J Harm, and Li Lao. Phenomena Man. Phenomena Man was SDD's best and not so brightest, but after being blindsided by a breakup, he's left purposeless, listless, blazerless. If he was welcomed into the Phoenix program, however, he may have found a new outlet to focus his incredibly intense yearnings and desires. Phenomenal. Concepts by Lap Punchung. Why does this outfit, the color scheme looks like Eustace Witter from Ace Attorney Investigations? Like, just the outfit itself. Like, if I crop it out his head. Matching costume colors from couple era. V pattern across chest. Old cross didn't feel heroic. Mustache and mutton chops, longer hair, full beard, hardened mantle. Slumped causes attached undersuit to wrinkle. Like, I thought he was gonna give me Omni-Man vibes. Like, when we first met him, they played, like, ominous music. I thought he was gonna be, like, Omni-Man-ish. Like, I thought he was gonna be, maybe not, like, evil, but antagonistic to us somehow, especially when we found out that he broke up and we might have something to do with it. But he was actually really fun. Look at him pouting here. And the whole, like, him reminding us constantly that he's not human is kind of funny. Sketches by J Harm and Kuchupak. Royd, the best bra. Originally conceived as a deployable character that was far more involved with Team Z's antics in the field, Royd was initially designed to have a transformative power, increase his size and strength. Or maybe that's why you saw the red version of him. The idea of his close ties with the Phoenix program was eventually scoped out of the game, so his powers were removed aside from massive strength, in lieu of becoming Robert's trusty, brainy, and friendly robotics man, stationed in his very own secret lab in the basement of SDN. Left by Lap Punchung, right lab concepts by Santasak, Apusatharat, and Tana M. Royd's lab. Most of the Torrent's SD and offices is sporting some pretty archaic technology, but Royd's lab is an oasis for gear nuts. Behind multiple layers of security, he's hoarding a room full of high-end gadgets and a stockpile of confiscated weaponry from captured villains. The setting, props, and branding. A world with superheroes and villains is a world that allows for a lot of fantastical elements to exist, but most of the props we encounter as a dispatcher in an office are pretty mundane. Regardless, they are all rendered with the same level of care and attention to detail, so they maintain the same aesthetic, whether it be mystical power-infused sword or dog poop bag. The edible arrangement. The Twinkies. The Twinkies was pretty funny as a recurring thing. Props by Taiwan Leong, Rujathorn, Sopratist, Sirawich, Jitsupa, Jantanet, Chun Tosa Bonchai, Achitapal Chai Wian, Waryut Kurdzian, Tanshinok Aramrung. Bottom, Terminal Exploration by Derek Stratton. I apologize for everyone whose names I am butchering, but I appreciate you and what you've done. This is not what I expected to turn the page to. Left, photocopy prank art by Warum Porn Lao Praket Chowlaporn, Jojao and Tana M. Gym posters by Danithon Streamer Hasarn. Like, we saw this briefly in the game, but it was like so brief. I was almost like, did I just see that? Funny safety poster. If you do not have superpowers, you need a spotter. Sport gym vibe. If you do not have superpowers, you need a spotter. Dude, like, goat seeing himself. Let SGN be your rock. Billboard exploration by Non and Note. Fragrance and ad mockup by Thanyathon Srimahasarn and Tana M. Right, Billboard tone piece by Lapunchung. Bottom, street buildings and branding by Alan Prasad Dipinaharn. Reasonable Gideon's television store. Parasonia, Sony, RNG Color TV, audio and electronics. Hot Chops. City street set design by Santasask Apasutharat. Can I read this? I'm not going to try reading it out loud. It's too hard on the eyes. Dispatching. It took several revisions of the dispatching software and main gameplay screens to land on what you see in the game. The goal was to evoke the retro vibes of cathode ray tube monitors, to blur time period aesthetics and subtly suggest that SGN may not be quite as well funded as they hoped. But for the sake of the players, your experience, the UI had to be exceptionally user-friendly to reduce the learning curve. Was this Flambe? This is old, like prototype Flambe. This is kind of cool. Hey Scythe, welcome in. This looks pretty cool. The orange look is kind of neat. I definitely think it looks better with the portraits on the bottom instead of on the side here. This might have been better for streaming though, because I was constantly blocking out Phenomenons. My cat is stuck in a tree. A helpless kitten has been spotted on a large oak tree near Main and 52nd. It's been stuck for 12 hours and its owner is starting to panic. It seems to have something in its mouth. Is hoarding something important? Maybe it could be distracted. Wait, Beyblade. Oh, I totally forgot they had a superhero whose name was on the leaderboard named Big Chungus. And they never elaborate on that. I like how it's Bay, B-A-E. I like how there's a granny icon here on this one too. This one's looking closer to what we got. Flambe. So many Invisicals. It's cool to see like UI stuff as well in art books. Top 3, Dispatch Screen Exploration by John Montenegro. Bottom, Dispatch Screen Exploration by Robin Wadey. UX challenges. Dispatch presented a lot of usability challenges due to the amount of information displayed at once. In these initial concepts, you can see the exploration of different locations of the hero cards. We opted to go with the horizontal format because it allows players to see our beautiful art better. Yeah, I agree. Horizontal look was better. The map evolution. The map went through a few phases before it ended up in the monochromatic display you see in-game. In collaboration with Polly Ragumov, narrative designer and resident Torrents expert, I created a map mockup with Torrents locations and 3 models left. The concept was then taken by our animation partner and refined into a saturated sprawl on the right. UI color process. The UI's original warm colors and blocky details leaned more 70s before we moved to cooler tones and pixelated details. This was done to match the dispatch CPU's functionality for dispatching heroes, while also being able to hack subscribers' security systems. The idea of them also having the retro technology also reminds me of like Fantastic Four First Steps. That movie has incredible art design, the way they do like basically like the Jetsons kind of look, where it's like retro but new, technological but old at the same time. It's really cool. Robin Wadey, senior UX/UI artist. I love looking at 3D models and stuff like this too. Hacking. The basics of the hacking mode were blocked out in Unreal Engine, but the default gray orbs weren't just cutting it. Surprisingly enough, we love it where it landed, but it's equally cool to see the range and nuance of our experimentations on orb and virus icons, and how those designs must have influenced how each moved and navigated the hacking grid. Hacking Node and Antivirus Design Explorations by Robin Wadey. Next page, Hacking Mode Design by Robin Wadey. Ooh, look at this one. This one's kind of cool. Very like HAL 9000. These are all pretty cool, actually. The interesting thing is the game also has accessibility features, so you can adjust the UI in certain areas for certain types of accessibility. It'd be interesting to see what those look like. I'm so glad they only gave me a couple of those things where the password was backwards. And it was near the beginning. I didn't see any more of those after that. Those ones were kind of tricky. If they gave me that with a timer and a virus chasing me, it'd be over. The opening sequence of Robert getting ready for work at the top of episode 4 wasn't in the script. It was added during development to underline how not super Robert is feeling at this point in the story. I want to have one shot in the sequence that could stand on its own, where even just one frame you would understand what he was going through. This is the result. Nick Herman, episode 4 director. In-game screenshot from episode 4. The mascot man, what a mystery. Let's look at some storyboarding. Where's a big chungus here, huh? Look at Golem. Look at Golem here. What a fun dude. Oh, see, Sonar would have hulked out into his man-bat form here. Why does Phenoman look so thin here? Obviously, it's just a mock-up, but still. This does not look like Phenoman. Oh, I would have gotten this scene if I got Waterboy instead. And then this is a scene if I went on the date with Blazer instead of going to the movies with Invisigal. That's chapter 2. Go right into chapter 3. This is so fun. Ever since the storyboard phase, this shot has been one of my favorites. Because of Robert's downfall at the beginning of the series, it's rare that we get to see him in his prime. Being able to show him in his full glory as Mecha Man was an opportunity we couldn't take for granted. The strength of the pose, the way he's framed so well by the gaping hole he just created, cool and composed, fighting the good fight even as the world burns around him. That's Mecha Man. That's Robert down to his core. He may not have superpowers, but he's got guts and grit, and that's ultimately why we love him as our protagonist. Chris Rebert, episode 5 co-director, in-game screenshot from episode 5. Z-Team continue. Oh good, we get to see more, because I was like, we didn't get to see concept art for the rest of them. This one's kind of blocked out. Sketches by Paige Irvine. Look at Sonar, so happy over here. Flambe. Certified haughty, controls the fire and the flame, but his temper, he's working on it. Flambe needs to be loud both in personality and in visual design. Fun fact, his name was originally Blonde Blazer due to his matchstick head. When this design changed, we transferred the name to someone more fitting. His name was Blonde Blazer. I guess that explains the blazer part. His face kind of reminds me of Vamp from Metal Gear Solid. Sketches by J. Harm, Paige Irvine, and Tanyathon Srimahasan. These are actually kind of cool. Like, this one's kind of giving Quicksilver vibes. Like, the less facial hair and less chest hair to make him a little bit more Ikemen. Even though he has, like, the ugly, like, retro outfit, it kind of works better for him here. Actually, he kind of looks like a Danny Phantom villain. That's exactly what he looks like. He looks like a Danny Phantom villain. The club. Prism. Ooh, these are cool. We had the early idea of a light, laser-powered hero, but we weren't quite sure the best way to represent her visually. We went through the scientific manipulation of particles phase, then the supernatural conjuring of lightning phase, and finally landed on the pop diva putting on a lethal laser show with holographic backup dancers. So obvious. Kind of like this scientist look for her. You know, she would make a great raid boss with her ability to make like duplicates and light and stuff. Sketches by Lapun Chung and Derek Stratton. She could also do like her own music too. It's funny how she doesn't do the singing, but Flambe has a song in the game. She turned out really cool. Sketches by J. Harm. I thought like she had such fun personality once she started like getting zingers off. At first she just was like a little bit, she felt a little stuck up, she felt a little annoying. Obviously they wrote her that way. But then like once her zingers started getting across and being like more playful instead of just mean. They also gave her a lot of like modern language to make her like feel more like she fit in. Her powers are actually cool too. Like when we first met her, I was like, she seems one of the less combat competent people in the group, but she was very good. Golem. When a character is a sentient creature made of dirt and clay, it allows for a lot of design possibilities. In our opinion, too, Golem was a character we spent a long time iterating on just to get right. Think he's just some glob guy? Think again. Check these receipts. He could have been a frog? Possibly a cyclops? A goldfish? A symbiote between bronze golem and a goldfish living in the belly. Gentle giant. He could have been... Golem could have been a goldfish. That would have been awesome, actually. This is just an enemy from Clair Obscure. Massive crystal orb is a living entity. Controlled a tree that grew around it. This is just an enemy from Clair Obscure. These are also fun, though. Spits out giant coins. Can only say ribbit. Honestly, this would have been really fun, too. We could have had it all. Living statue. Wings can shield around body. Magma base with solidified face and arms. Brass fitting on a rock golem. This is just like a Zelda enemy. These are all really cool. Any one of these could have worked really well. I mean, Golem was awesome. I like the way he worked out. He is kind of like Clayface-y, though. Kind of like Clayface from Batman, but he was fun. He had a cute smile. Yeah, if they made him a frog, I would have lost my mind. I would have lost my mind. He's wielding a stop sign. Oh, look at him being a gentle giant. Look at that smile. Previous page, concepts by Lapun Chung. This page, sketches by J. Harm, Federico Kemp, and Lance Lee. Hey Chase, welcome in. Thanks for the stretch. I think this scene was really fun too. The fact that he was just listening to his music with his earbuds in. Yeah, he got some snarky moments in too, even though he didn't really talk that much. It was fun. In-game screenshot from episode 5. Malevola, mistress of hell and our hearts, the demon lady of your dreams. You may think heals are impractical for fighting or running, but as Malevola would say, only if you're a little bitch. Sketches by Jeharm. She kind of gives me like Monster Prom vibes, because if you combine like Damien and I already forgot her name, the Oni lady, you basically would have gotten Malevola. She was cool. Her abilities are really cool. I also like her use of her tail. She used her tail quite well in some scenes, like bringing the chandelier with her tail. That was fun. Also, Malevola is such a good name. It sounds so cool. While Malevola's strong build was always part of our vision for her, the weapon she wielded and her personal aesthetic evolved quite a bit during development. We tried leaning fantasy, gothic, aquatic, alien, but surprisingly, the version we loved best was more supermodel glam, with a vibe that may remind you of a certain Pepsi commercial from the early 90s. These kind of look like if these were like Marvel Rivals skin concepts. Like different skins for her. I think they hit it with her actual design though. It's simpler, but it works really well. Some of these are nice, but they feel a little over-designed for what they were supposed to do with her. This is such a funny shot. This is Waterboy and Punch Up hanging up. Synergy sketches by I Am Zoof. Punch Up. Punch Up came from a carnival strongman concept, but he got progressively shorter throughout our design exploration process. No nuts are safe. The kilt would have been so funny, actually. I like what they went with, but the kilt would have been so funny. Costume less silly than strongman leotard. Fur costume. No hair at all with iron skin. Scaled and reproportioned version of the original. Far left, concept sketches by Derek Stratton. Center and right, concepts by Lap Pun Chung. I love how emotive these are. Like when people do sketches and they're able to like exaggerate expressions and anatomy and perspective to give you that feeling. But of course, you have to like get good at actual anatomy first before you're able to bend the rules, right? You're right, he does give a little bit of Alex Louis Armstrong energy, you're right. Sketches by Danyathan Srimahasan, Frederico Kemp, and Jay Harm. Oh, this is a party scene. This scene was really fun. This scene was really fun. Look at Golem here. This is just a fun scene. Episode 6 storyboards by Mike Jones. The setting, the city. Our SDN branch is set in a real city in Southern California, Torrance. So a lot of the streets, buildings, maps, and other geographical elements are based on actual locations. Pulling and synthesizing real-world references not only provides endless inspiration from a design perspective, but also hopefully brings a feeling of authenticity to the areas you see within the game world. The Villain Bar. Seedy dive bar, loosely inspired by a great real dive bar in Torrance, the Sardine. We wanted to contrast the Crypto Knight Kiro bar from episode 1, which was cleaner and warmer, with soft light and wood tones. Here we've got concrete, tacky murals, supers costumes that have been stabbed onto the wall like trophies, and bathrooms tagged up the wazoo. Somehow, it gets even shittier post-brawl. Skyscape. View from Robert's balcony by Danyathan Srimahasan. Flashback battle. In episode 5, we got a few brief glimpses of a previous battle between Robert in his prime, Mecha Man years, and Flambe. The battle is fiery, literally and figuratively, and the setting had to reflect the raw carnage inflicted by the showdown. It also had to directly contrast with the current day gym setting we bounced to between flashbacks. If the gym is cold, internal tension, The plaza featured here is dramatic, external violence, warmth, high contrast, intense shadows. We took visual inspiration from West Side Pavilion Mall, a nice local homage to the game setting that also gave us that visual contrast we need for cross-cutting. The part of him like working out and then flipping between him working out and the fight with Flambe was cool. And then the part of them like eating Taco Bell while flipping back and forth between the brawl at the bar was also very well shot. Flashback Battleground exterior by Zhou Zhao. Steel Mill. Back in episode 1, Robert faced off against his nemesis Shroud in a battle that took place in an abandoned steel mill. The vibe and some of the layout was based on the Kaiser steel mill, which was used in killer action films like Terminator 2 and Mission Impossible 3, so there are a lot of helpful cinematic reference to pull from. We also like the idea of paying homage to an iconic real-world filming location, even though we were building it from the ground up in 3D. Steel Mill Exterior by Danyatan Surmahasarn and Zhou Zhao. Playground scene. Oh, I forgot about Granny. Granny may not be a villain per se, but he certainly didn't make Robert's first shift with a Z team any easier. Even though he plays a relatively small role in the season, Granny and his donut shop were in the earliest prototype we ever built for Dispatch, many years ago, concepts by Li Lao and La Punchung. I completely forgot about Granny. Crocs or Yeezys? Lightning Struck is a lower tier baddie who was also in our earliest prototype. He started off more militaristic and techy, but eventually evolved into some bored guy who happened to get his hands on some decent tech by selling his soul to the Red Ring, concepts by La Punchung. He's like the Shocker, where he's always like the first henchman people fight and he's like wimpy. Villains. No, not reformed villains like our Z team, but the real deal villains. The bad guy roster can range from overpowered to, is that really considered a superpower? And that's a fun spectrum to play with. Check out the designs of some of these dummies. The Skittle Thieves. Oh, I forgot about these guys. Remember these assholes? With some perspective on the other villains that exist in this world, we have context on how low on the rung these idiots are, and what a new low it was for Robert to get his ass beat by him. Concepts by Danyatathon, Surma Hassard, and Fredia18. I like the no drama shirt. That's kind of funny. This guy's kind of going for the Kirostyle fit, hey? This guy's kind of cool. It reminds me of The Thing. Not like The Thing from Marvel, but like The Thing from like the horror movie, The Thing. They actually have names. Rotspur was an early concept that we had to include based on design alone. Not many dead guys can pull off 3 belts and that body. If you got it, flaunt it. What's left of it? Concept of by Danyatan Surmahasarn. Stretchy Goon loses some points for lack of a name creativity, but he's a funky weirdo, icky and sticky to fight. Also won't stop asking you to come to his punk rock band show, cover songs only, at the Sardine. Concept by Zhou Zhao. We really didn't see this guy very much, but he's pretty cool. He does stand out. I like that they have pictures of these like low tier baddies that we barely see. This whole sequence was truly a labor of love for me. It's rare we get to exercise with such purely visual storytelling, so when we got the chance here, I knew I wanted to go all out and make something special. I wanted the player to feel like they were actually at the party, not just seeing snippets like a more traditional montage. It was a blast deciding on the details, from the lamps each Z-teamer brought to each one's dance moves. What starts as a ruse to trace the whereabouts of the Astral Pulse turns into an all-out love fest, and Robert's dark, empty apartment is suddenly filled with light and the people he cares about. For me, it's the emotional highlight of the episode, if not the series, and I never get sick of watching our cast share one pure moment of elation. Chris Rebert, Episode 6 Director. This was a really good scene. This was so fun. In-game screenshot from Episode 8. Oh, there's Waterboy in this one, because we didn't get Waterboy in ours. Storyboard time. See, just imagining Waterboy being at the bar when they get into the brawl. Like, I know narratively he would survive, but man, he would actually die in there. Considering everyone was getting, like, their ears and eyeballs stabbed and their fingers bitten off and all that stuff, Waterboy would not have survived. Episode 5 Color Key by Napatha Chansamakar. Look at Golem here. He's like, oh. Look at Golem. Look at Golem here. What a fun page. Hey, Tay, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for the raid. I hope you guys are all doing well today. Welcome in, welcome in. Please go check out our friend Taehungi. He's a really fun streamer. He's such a cool guy with such a great energy that really draws you in. You gotta go check him out. Follow him on Twitter and on Twitch. He recently hit partner on Twitch, which he 100% deserves, 110%, 150%, 200% deserves. He's super cool, and he's got a very handsome model, and he's got a lot of fun stuff planned. Go check him out. Go check out any of his streams. You'll feel welcome right away. Thank you so much for dropping by, guys. Hope you had a good stream. Ah, see, you're in my stream now. I get to compliment you. Let me scroll back up so I can welcome everyone in. You guys are doing a chatting stream. I hope you had a good time. Your community is always so welcoming. Dame, welcome to the stream. Ghost Receipt, hello, hello. Momo, welcome in. Churros, Sai Sauce, welcome in. Winkosity, welcome to the stream. Dio, hello, hello. Arrow Doggo, welcome to the stream. Anna Banana, welcome in. What a fun name. Unknown User, good to see you. Saray, welcome in. The Fiery Kitsune. Sweet Cypher. Oh, I can't even keep up with the chat, guys. VCL Green, welcome in. BG Fishy, welcome to the stream. Ginya, welcome in. Kijiro. And Blopkins, welcome to the stream. Nico, hello, hello. Ghost Staffer. Randok, welcome to the stream. Error. Oh no, I already said hi to you, I think. Who You Bun, welcome in. And then, oh my god, the chat, you guys. Hold on for a second, I can't keep up. X Radicalmon, welcome in. DJ Lowry, welcome to the stream. And then, thank you so much for the follows, I really appreciate it. Welcome in. Ginya and Sai, Ghost Saray, Blopkins, Dame, Dio, Circuit, Kijiro, and DJ Lowry. Thank you so much for the gift subs. That's really kind of you. 10? Holy! Thank you so much for stopping by, and thank you so much for the gift subs. If you guys got a gift sub, make sure to say thank you. And Randok, thank you so much for the bits. I really appreciate it. Hello, hello. I hope I didn't miss anyone in the chat. Welcome in. I'm Kiro, the frog-themed martial artist. We just finished playing Dispatch, so we're going through the digital art book now, which came with the deluxe edition of the game, and we're having a good time going over this. It's really fun reading the commentary and looking at the art, so feel free to sit back and relax, or go take care of yourself after your stream. I really appreciate you being here. If you guys are new around here as well, you can also check out my other social media too. My Twitter has like artwork and stream schedules, and my YouTube also has previous playthroughs we've done. I have done a lot of playthroughs on this channel. We're probably up to like 200 games now, 1,600 videos, JRPGs, fighting games, horror games, mystery games, visual novels, action games, strategy games, a little bit of everything. Thank you so much for stopping by. Make yourselves at home. And thank you again, Tay. I really appreciate it. You're the best. We're looking at the storyboards. Again, like, these are so well framed. Like him lying on the ground talking to Beef like that. Seeing everyone come in with their like lanterns or chandeliers and lanterns and stuff. What a fun episode. This one was such a fun episode. Oh, this would have happened if I danced with Blazer. Which again, I didn't directly choose who to dance with. It must have been like a culmination of your choices throughout. And then the last section of that episode. That was really cool. Okay, chapter 4. The Art of Dispatch, chapter 4. And of course, if you guys don't want spoilers, there's a few spoilers here and there, so if you don't want spoilers, feel free to step out or close your eyes, but I appreciate you stopping by. When I was working on this beat, we had yet to shoot Shroud's earlier scenes in episodes 1 or 6, non-linear development, so I approached it as his big reveal. I wanted his entrance to feel unsettling, like a nightmare. To build that effect, we established a rhythm where quick flashes of Robert being tortured were surrounded by long cuts to black, providing a safe space. Then we shattered that safety by having Shroud emerge from the darkness itself, leaving the audience to wonder if he had been there the whole time. Nick Herman, episode 7 director. In-game screenshot from episode 7. He had a pretty cool design too. Shroud. The amount of design exploration we went for Shroud could fill its own art book. His look, mech, and powers all required nuance and specificity to properly represent his backstory and convey his ultimate motive. As you can see, we traveled down a few paths before we narrowed it down to what's on screen. Some of these look like variety of different like horror movie monsters, which is kind of cool. This one actually kind of looks like a character from Virtue's Last Reward. All the variety of the different masks. I like this brain one. That's kind of cool. Horns question mark. There's like glass cage, skull shapes. This one's like the dude from Power Rangers with like the saucer head. They all have very different feels. This one's like Egyptian themed. That's pretty cool. That's really neat. The hype train gave me an emote that looks like a diva putting on sunglasses and it sparkles in the light while her hair blows. It reminds me of Prism. Winkosity, thank you so much for dropping by the stream. We'll catch you next time. Take good care of yourself, and good luck with your art. Sketches by La Punchong. We started by throwing a very wide design net. Is Shroud armored, bio-based, organic, and tentacled, Pharaoh-inspired, non-corporeal, cybernetic, ninja-like, brainy, business, baddie? Ooh, this middle one is kind of cool. This is like a different, like a completely different genre here. It's like a Warframe or something. Concepts by La Punchong. Then we landed here. This was the right vibe. We had to further refine his helmet/mask, as that piece of tech was essential to understanding Shroud's capabilities and threat. It almost looks like he could be a Strider Hiryu antagonist. His helmet allows him to calculate probabilities and increase his odds of winning to unbeatable proportions, almost like he can see into the future. Which brought us here. Functional attire with an iconic and creepy headpiece paired with a subdermal neural network, both of which ominously glow with immense processing power. Concepts by Derek Stratton. I also like how it kind of gives like a little bit of Red Skull feel with it, with like the red helmet and then the rest of his body like black. Eli. When the Shroud mask is off, he's just Eli. Turns out Eli is also a dick. He worked closely with Robert's dad during Mecha Man's golden years, but was unable to buy into the vision of heroism being a worthwhile pursuit. These concepts show only a small handful of the many revs of exploration we did to find Shroud's behind the mask persona. At one point, we even explored the idea of flashing back to a young Eli to see his dynamic with young Robert and Bobby. Concepts by La Punchong. Mecha Man shirt. This one's an interesting idea. Exterminator vibes. Oh, like a pest exterminator. Very casual. Wraps all over. Ooh. Visual development of Shroud's mech by Derek Stratton. Look at that. These are such cool shots. Shroud's mech. In contrast to Mecha Man, Shroud's mech is more alien and asymmetrical in its design, more primal and sharp in its movements. Above, Mecha concept by Derek Stratton. Top right, mech pieces by Thanyathan, Surmahasan, and Zhou Zhao. Ooh, this one looks creepy because of like the two human hands coming out of here. It kind of gives me Mistral from Metal Gear Rising, which is kind of cool. I noticed these during the fight, but they weren't super prominent all the time. Ooh. It is a little bit like Omega Weapon, though, which is kind of funny. Good night, Lork. Thank you so much for dropping by the stream. I really appreciate it. Have a good rest. Ooh, I love seeing this stuff too, like the insides, what the electronics look like, what his like cockpit would look like. Look at all these details that got lost in development that we probably won't, like, you probably don't see at all. Ooh, these are really cool too. These are like different mech shapes. Some of them are a little bit more like Evangelion, some of them more Gundam-like, some of them more like Zoid-like, Warframe-like. There's so many cool ways to do mechs. Mechs are so hard to draw, but they're so cool. Mech Design Explorations by Kuchipak. Some of these also look like they could belong in like a Metroid game. Ooh. The Red Ring. Group fights are expensive to produce with so many unique characters. We need these villains to feel threatening, not like nameless assets. Our solution was create a kit of body types and Red Ring augments that could be mixed and matched. This saved our animation partners the headache of starting from scratch each time we filled out a scene. Very smart. We also documented how the abilities of these bad guys and gals would be enhanced by their respective Red Ring augments. Red Ring modules by Zhao and Kuchipak. That's very smart. To make them all unique and different, but easy to produce. Like Ultron here, we have like Winter Soldier here. Red Ring Goons by Tanyathan Srimahasan. Sonar's juiced... Oh, so this is like evil Sonar. Sonar's juiced up collar was designed to feel reminiscent of the bulky tech you'd see in an 80s sci-fi movie, yet still fit with the Red Ring DIY aesthetic. Sonar appears by Nemo Desi. Coop's mask and wings are both glowing hot red. It's partly due to the rage felt from Robert's betrayal, but also the increased Red Ring power. She's faster, sharper, and a heck of a lot scarier. Coop appears by Nemo Desi. Ooh, I need to watch someone else do the Sonar ending. But it's like, we love him because he's like a goofy little goofball, and then to see him like this? The same with Coop. We didn't really get to know her very well on my playthrough. She just had the unfortunate position to be competing with Sonar. See, this lady was like, she really stuck out, but she only appeared in like a couple frames. It's like, who's this? Like, who's this Storm from Marvel Rivals? Psychic may feel particularly specific in her design, and that's because it was originally intended for a Z-Team member that got cut. Oh, concept by Lapun Chung and Niti Promethet. Okay, that makes so much more sense. Oh, there's his ding-dong. Toxic is made of toxic sludge and has real shit attitude to match. When he transforms, his clothes are burned off from the acid to reveal his cool cucumber. Concept by Niti Promethet. He kind of reminded me a little bit of Blight from Batman Beyond, but also there's a character in Marvel who's only like in one game named Hazmat, who's in like the Imperfects. Kind of reminds me of this. Thumbstick didn't get the chance to live up to his rep. We still have a design of him as if he was a menacing dude. Concept by Tana M. Oh, this guy. Oh, right, because we saw his face in episode 8, but I remember him best as like this thing from episode 1 when he was like blobbing all over Robert. Blob Goon may look kind of cute, maybe even friendly, but he sucks. Or rather, blows? Like, blows up. We're trying too hard here, but you get it. He's a blob and he's a jerk. Concepts are modeled by Niti Promethet, Shallow Efon, by San Pukuk, and Vitawin Deluxe Band. He also kind of gives me a bit of Majin Buu vibes. Oh, this guy. This guy was such a fun design. I like the funny flavor text they write. It's kind of witty. Armstrong, so that's his name. Armstrong started out with a basic silhouette. Large, imposing, and top-heavy. We gave him tiny arms because, well, it was a funny contrast with his name. More importantly, it strengthened the narrative he's reliant on Red Ring's augmented mechanical ligaments. Concept by Zhao. Oh, Z-Team and the final fight. The Z-Team got scrappy in the bar brawl back in episode 5, but it's not until the boss battle at the end of episode 8 that we get to see them show off their full power kits. Some even discover perfect synergy with a Bud in a wombo combo move. The first step was to take stock of all their respective powers, then brainstorm the most interesting and entertaining ways they could work together. Next, we board out the scenes to understand the flow and communicate the scope and vision to the rest of the team. Now, boarding action beats it ain't the prettiest. In order to convey lots of tiny kinetic movements, it's fast and messy. Detailed visuals take a backseat to informational sketches and notes, often paired with 3D pre-visualization and live-action reference material filmed by our team. This is how we worked out these combat shots and found the right pacing, so our ragtag team could finally step into their roles as full-blown superheroes. Prism's Light Lattice Shield concept by Thanyathan Srinivasan and Tana M. Malevolous Strength and Sword Synergy concept by Tana M. Golem's Rock Summoning and Waterfall Power concept by Tana M. This is so cool. I love seeing action shots like this. It looks like if you ever get like an art book for like a 2D fighting game, like Blaze Blue, or King of Fighters, or like Guilty Gear, you'll see a lot of artwork like this, where you get to see like hand-drawn versions of some of the frames of the characters. It's super cool to see the movement. Z team assembles against a common enemy, board by Frederico Kemp. Malevola portals in to watch Prism's back, board by Frederico Kemp. Prism gears up to conjure light steps for a flambe alley-oop, board by Alejandro Weekers. Coop gives Punch-Up some altitude before he barrel rolls. Oh, see, this would have been neat. The thing is, Sonar was on our team during this fight, but we didn't see him do that much, which I think is intentional, because the same reason why if Coop was with us on that team, she would also not have as much screen time, because it needs to be interchangeable with the other version where they're the enemy. I also love Blazer coming in with a car when she's D-superpowered, still being a badass. Invisigal blows up yet another mech, this time with help from Golem's Mud Goop. Boards by J Harm. It's so funny, they censored her middle finger during the scene, but then she middle fingers like 10-20 minutes later, and it does not get censored. Blazin. If you didn't already know from your choices in episode 4, it may be a shock to learn Blazer isn't a natural blonde. Be cool, it's a sensitive topic. Turns out the best baelish doesn't come from a salon, but an enchanted necklace that brings along some serious super prowess, all of which Chase benefits from once he dons the gemstone. So it is possible to completely miss this if you make poorer choices, I suppose. This was fun. This part was really fun. Again, if this was the final blow, it would not feel very satisfying because it is something that kind of comes out of nowhere. But the fact that it happens and then we still get the beef scene afterwards helped it out. Left, Mandy and Star Blazer sketches by Thanyathan Srinivasan. Above, episode 8 storyboard by J Harm. Oh, Waterboy. It would have been so funny if they did the whole like armpit spray thing with him. Narratively, I feel like it works pretty well picking Phenomenon first. I'll have to watch someone else do the opposite. Pre and post Red Ring attack set designs by Zhou, Kuchipak, Tana M, and Shitaro's Vumdokmai. The setting, the attacks. The whole setup of episode 8 with the dispatch was really fun too, having to like save everyone to recruit them back to the team, fighting Coop at the same time as saving the city. That was really cool. By episode 7, our team is exhausted and beaten down. When the Red Ring launches a widespread attack on the greater Los Angeles area, we needed the scale of the destruction to feel both overwhelming and personal. We continue to base a lot of the game locations on real-life locales to echo that sense of familiarity and personal loss. Oh, it's like a little like strip mall with like, you know, like an auto shop, a bubble tea place, like a pizza place. Previous page, City Sketches by Zhou and Thanyathan Srinivasan. This page, City Sketch by Zhou. The people. We've got what makes real difference, great people. The chaos of the Red Ring's attack in our story forces us to zoom out a bit. We get a better idea of the scale of the city, as well as the citizens, other heroes, and SGN employees within it. Mr. Whiskey makes the best cup of Joe in the office. So that's his name, Mr. Whiskey. Above, banged up Mr. Whiskey concept by Thanyathan Surmahasan. Right, gameplay portrait sketches by Zhou Zhao. Lana, alien, mailroom from a different galaxy altogether. We only very briefly saw Lana. Galen, Florida guy, has super hearing but plays it cool about all the secrets he most definitely knows. The opening of episode 8 was so funny with this too. And the fact that Mr. Whiskey's eyes are like the opposite of cross-eyed, where they're going, I guess they're like cross-eyed in the opposite direction, outwards. And we just saw like the city blowing up, and then it cuts at the start of episode 8 to him making coffee. Episode 8 storyboards by Federico Kim. I thought there was going to be some secret behind him, like he's like a member of the production team or something like that. Or their mascot, or he'd be revealed to be like someone we already knew underneath the mask. I kind of like him just being mysterious mascot guy though. Look at these guys. They had so many cool NPCs in the background that you only saw like once. Modular Civilian, SDN, Employee, and Superhero Designs by Lap Punchung. It must be so fun to work on this game and just pump out superhero designs. Not having to care about like... Not to say not care about the designs, but for the ones that are background characters, just being able to like go a bit wild with it. Because you're like, well, they're not main characters, but they'll be fun anyways. Flashback. Episode 7 begins with a flashback to a sweet moment between young Robert and young Chase, giving us some context to their lifelong friendship. This sequence was sadly scoped down a bit. When the content was hard to lose, all that groundwork helped flesh out their backstories and inform how our characters got to where they are now. Robert's childhood home, circa 2003 by Shitaro's Fundokmai. Previous page, in-game screenshot from episode 7. Young Chase explorations by Thanyathan Surmahasan and Young Robert explorations by Zhou Zhao. Aw, the Young Robert ones look pretty good. Like, it's got that, like, blend of anime and Western animation. Young Chase looked really cool, too. They had such a fun relationship. The dialogue was written really well for them. They're, like, playfully bantering and calling each other swear words, but also just being bros. This is a really good panel. A sweet photo of young Robert with his dad by Zhou Zhao. Alternate photo sketch of young Robert and his dad by Tana M. These unlikely heroes who start out as individual, disparate sketches drawn over the course of several years eventually grew into the untitled cast lineup seen here. At first, it was hard to picture them together, but now it's impossible to imagine them apart. Their unique designs echoes their specific personalities, like Flambe intentionally choosing the extremely deep-cut V-neck of his suit to show off his chest hair, or Waterboy wearing a wetsuit in order to keep the water inside his clothes so as not to upset the world around him. Each of these characters came from different backgrounds, with different talents and temperaments. They were plucked from their normal lives and smashed together in the workplace. While learning how to work together, they often joked around, occasionally argued, always celebrated wins together, and ultimately ended up supporting each other when things got tough. And over the course of working together, they became a team, just like the group of developers that made Dispatch. Dennis Leonard, Episode 8 Co-Direction. Look at Sonar here in the background, and then look at Coop. Oh, Golem. In-game screenshot from episode 8. Epilogue. Well, this is the end. The process of creating this book, of digging up all these concept pieces and development notes, was a nice reminder of how far we've come. Making this game was sometimes beautiful, often frustrating, but always interesting. Hopefully reading through this digital documentation of our journey was interesting for you as well. Speaking of you, we couldn't have done any of this without you. The curiosity, excitement, and support we receive from you, the players, is why this game can exist at all. So thanks for playing, thanks for reading, and thanks for dispatching. AdHoc Studio. You can really feel the love they put into everything, just from the way they, like, even just the way they're describing their process and stuff. Look at him doing the flambe scene. Sometimes we film reference in order to convey performance details. So these are probably just credits. Oh, these are scenes from the last episodes. It's weird seeing the versions of this that we didn't see, like Coop, for example, being here. Blazer was so cool when she came to save Robert. I mean, she was always cool, but this is kind of funny. It looks like he's doing that like meme of Pepe pulling back his fist, getting ready to hit you. Because of course in our version we saw Coop here, but like this is kind of funny. He's like, "I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you." I feel like the pacing in this game was good too, because they didn't force, like, they weren't like, oh, every episode needs 2 dispatch segments. Like, some worked just fine with 1, and they didn't try to force a second one in narratively. I thought that they might do that, but they didn't. When he gets blasted by the rainbow, he gets like pink Floyded by the prism. Look at these dorks. The Art of Dispatch. Here, I'll just zoom in on the names so you can read them in post. I love art books that actually have commentary to go along with them. I'm so glad they did. I wasn't sure if they would. Oh, this is the page on the front. I was wondering when they would get to this one, because there was only a sketch in the beginning. Look at them all being goofy with each other. Waterboy and Mr. Whiskey. Phenoman. Oh, I also like how Golem has like swim trunks, but they are like rock patterned. Hey, Kiro from the future here. So after I finished stream, I went looking at some dispatch stuff, and I found out that this particular page here, this spread, is actually a reference to a specific X-Men cover, which I have here. I'll show you. Pretty cool. And I think the characters actually fit in most of the poses pretty well, even though some of them are fitting in poses of characters that don't necessarily have much to do with them. But I feel like it's like the perfect composition in terms of our characters being assigned parallels with the X-Men. So that's pretty cool. I also found that Flambe's song, the one that he sang during the credits of that episode, is a parody of a pre-existing song, which I wasn't really aware of before either. So it's cool to see all these homages to like other things, other medias, other comics that came before it. It's really cool. It really shows the love that the creators put into this game as well. Now, I do want to say that after I went through the art book here on stream, I also realized they didn't have any concept art for the characters from the tutorial. So we didn't see like Sweet Talker or Pom Pom or Equilibrium or any of those characters. Bookkeeper. I suppose those characters in the game only exist as single little headshot portraits that are drawn. They don't have any like models or animations, or they don't appear in any cutscenes. But I kind of wish we saw some concept art for those characters too. We saw more concept art for the villains and the random henchmen than we did those characters. Although it makes sense, because the henchmen have to appear in the animated cutscenes and fight, while the other characters are just like talking portraits in the tutorial, even though they are playable technically. Anyways, I thought that was just kind of interesting. One other thing about this game that I didn't mention at the time was, you know, I talked about how the game has choices in it, but the choices don't seem like they have long-lasting effects. I feel like that also lends itself to the fact that games like this don't have too much replayability. Sure, you can go back through it again and make different choices, but if the choices don't change too much, or if after you've seen a couple of the different outcomes and you're like, okay, I'm good, the game itself doesn't have like a ton of replayability, although I guess you could keep doing the dispatch segments to see if you can get a better score or unlock character abilities. Apparently also characters have like team up synergies where if you send the same two characters together long enough, but only specific pairs, you unlock like a little bit of artwork of them and they get like a rank 3 synergy and they get extra stats if they get sent together. But I don't think I really sent enough groups together to permanently get those. I think at most I reached synergy rank 2. But still a really fun game. Again, that's more of the nature of its genre than it is a testament to the game itself. That was really cool. Yeah, I grew really attached to these characters. It's like, I would love to see the same characters return in something else, but also I feel like their story's kind of concluded, and I'd be okay if we left it off here. I would like to see more from the studio, whether it's like something dispatch related or something else, but I could really tell like the heart and soul that went into this, and it has so many things I love, like the storytelling, the characters, like the gameplay was fun, the visuals were great, the animation was great. Very few things to really complain about other than those, 1 or 2 wishes I had, which I mentioned at the end of episode 8. Not really complaints, but just like wishes for things that I wish they had done slightly differently. But this was fun, and also fun to stream it with you guys. I think it was really fun seeing your reactions to things for those of you who had not played it before and were going through it with me for the first time. And I think it's not the first time I played a game on stream that had like decisions to make that affected the story, but it's the first time I've played something that I would describe as like almost Telltale-like on stream, because I already played or watched other people play all the Telltale games before I became a streamer, so I've never had a chance to really go through some of those, even though some of them I would like to go through on stream in the future, but because they're games I've already gone through before, they're not on my highest priority list, so we'll see. I do want to do more of this kind of stuff too. Like, it's kind of like when we played Death Come True on stream. It was basically like watching a movie with you guys, but it was an interactive movie, which is cool. In this case, more of like an interactive, like episodic TV show, and that's really fun. That's really fun because I don't really do like watch party stuff where you just sit back and watch just something with people, but to have like an interactive like game version of it is what made it really, really fun. Shin, welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you guys are all doing well. Please go check out Shin when you get a chance. He just debuted a new model, and it looks gorgeous with art from the Cecile, and it looks really good. And it moves really nice. Go support him. Shower him with love. Join his wonderful community. Follow him on all social media, his Twitter, his Twitch. Say hello. Welcome in, Shin. I hope you had a good stream. Let's have a look at chat here. You guys are playing some Honkai Star Rail. Hope you had a good stream. Hope you had a fun time with everyone. Welcome in, Pastel B. And Sir Alakad. Jacket, welcome in. Callion, welcome in. Veluvian. Strange Kid, welcome to the stream. Acer, hello, hello. And Sir Alakad, thank you so much for the bit. I really appreciate it. Acer, thank you so much for following me and being a Froggy fan. Alucard, thank you so much for following as well. Hope you guys had a fun time. I'm Kiro, the frog-themed martial artist. We're playing Dispatch, but we actually just finished it. So we were talking about the game, and then we went over the digital art book, which was really, really fun. I had such a good time with this game, so if you had not played this game, I really recommend it. Even if you watch someone else play it too, like, just try it out. It's really fun. And everyone's playthroughs are going to be a little bit different too, which is kind of fun too. If you guys are new around here, you can also check out my social media. On Twitter, you'll find artwork and my schedules. And on YouTube, you'll find my previous playthroughs of other games. We've played like over 200 games now on stream with over 1,600 different videos. I'm sure you'll find something you like. There's action games, fighting games, horror games, RPGs, mystery games, visual novels, puzzle games, a little bit of everything. But unfortunately, we like actually literally finished. We're just about to wrap up. But I really appreciate you sharing your audience with me, Shin. I really appreciate it. Again, please go check out Shin when you get the chance. Also check out Tay as well for the previous raid as well if you haven't already. Both super cool dudes. I'm really grateful to get to know them. Yeah, if you've been looking at this game and want to try it, I do recommend it. It was really fun. It was really fun. Okay, but for now, let's pass on the good energy forward to someone else. Let's see who else is streaming that we could go and raid ourselves. Few people are on. Who do we want to say hi to? Let's say hi to my friend Remy. He's playing It Takes Two. I don't know who he's playing it with, but he's super fun. He's a great singer, chill guy. Go check him out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to start playing Hades 2 starting tomorrow as well. That'll be a lot of fun. I've been looking forward to it because I've been holding back on playing that game, which has been hard because I really want to play it. So we'll be playing Hades 2 for most of the rest of the week. Yeah, thanks again. Take care. Bye, froggy friends.